Get the ugly out. Cool. All right, so we got one thing out of the way. Oh, that's not good, but just gonna have to live with that. May have to put a washer up there and weld the washer in to keep the hole where we need it. We'll do that later. Working on grinding out the welds right here on the subframes. We're gonna get those off today. As you all know, we've got some Stiffler subframes over here, and also coming in today will be our transmission. So I'll show you what that transmission looks like, everything about it, and all the details. But for right now, we got to get some of this stuff cut off. Oh, and here's the way that we've routed everything. So I'm really pleased with this. I like the way everything's pulled up nice and tight. So we're happy with that. It comes out beside the edge of the car. And up there. Look at that. We got everything cut off and kind of ground. I want you to see how good these Stiffler subframes fit. We were blown away. We're looking at that and we're like, man, this car is all jacked up and twisted and everything. So we had to make do with some bolts and some nuts here. But I want y'all to check this out. Watch as John screws this thing down. Watch the car, bolt floor and everything move. If you can see it on camera, but everything, the whole car repositions itself. We did get a lot of this crap out from under the car, and ouch, my head, and it'll only get better as we kind of clean things up. But transmission will be here today. Looks like we're gonna have to wait on the clutch for a little while, so I thought that we might go ahead and toss the transmission in, but we'll probably wait maybe a week or so, and then we'll put the transmission in. But man, I love doing stuff like this. This is awesome. Here's the old pieces. Check this out. Here's your subframe and your cross member. And zip. All right, we got all the old stuff cut off the car, and I wanted to show you guys exactly how we go about welding these subframes on. Now, we do have to get the car loaded, so don't do this on a lift and not load the car up. So the wheels typically need to be on the ground whenever you do this. That way the car is at its kind of natural stress point. Now, you can somewhat mimic this by tall jack stands or setting it on boxes or crates or something like that. But for us, we're going to probably load the car right here and right here. It's not going to be the suspension, but it doesn't matter. It's the point as to where you're going to have pressure on the car. The car usually has pressure right here and there. So what we're gonna do is try to mimic it as close as we can, maybe about right here. Pressure points on the corner. So that's just my theory behind it. I know everybody's gonna tell me I'm doing it wrong, but we've done many of these cars and never had any issues with them. With that being said, all you gotta do is start some bolts here. Put your subframe connector up and get you a couple bolts started. See, this thing's loose, and that's all you need to do. Then you'll tighten everything down and start the welding process. Go ahead, clean your welds off, or clean your area off where you're going to be welding at right there, which we need to actually clean some different spots off, but that's it. You don't have to weld these things to death. A couple good, essentially tacks, if you will. You see how short of a weld that is right there that requires. Let's walk under this thing and look. As you can see, we've started to spray paint some stuff black. I have it. It looks like shit, but it looks better than it did. So got our subframes on. Welded up good enough. I'm not gonna get carried away on a bunch of welds on these things. These work really good. They're easy to install. We just got some bolts for reference right now. Just kind of hold everything up. Those will come out and the seat bolts will come through. Thanks again to Stifflers for hooking us up with these, and also our nice brake lines. Got those shining up here. We got everything strapped down. I think I showed you guys that earlier. Really happy with that. John worked on the pinch welds earlier. They were all out of sorts and he kind of straightened them out. All right, so right over here, we've got all of our new stuff for our transmission. The only thing that we're missing right now is the clutch, and that is on its way as well. So we'll deal with that when it comes. Handling. Let me tell you something, y'all. We work with some good people. Andrew Handling is one of the best. They always look out for us. You know, Andrew told me, he said, just wait till you see your box. He threw in a bunch of extra stuff for us. Look at all these parts. This is all stuff that we got to have for the Poop Coupe. Now, I told you guys that we were going to have sponsors involved. Now, your boy did have to come out of pocket. I want you to know that. But they gave me a really good discount on it. Look at this. Brand spanking new bell housing, y'all. Brand new. I don't think I've ever had a new T5 bell housing, but we got one now. Down here, we've got our quadrant, our under dash quadrant. Looks to be a double hook. Yep. We got our firewall quadrant adjuster and a new cable, which is, yep, also adjustable. So a lot of adjustment going on with the clutch here. A new block plate. Want to make sure everything's spaced out correctly. And we'll just go ahead and get to the transmission here. There you go, Handling Motorsports. This is a Z-Spec T5. So essentially what this is the T5 transmission that came in your 93 Cobras. This is a really, really good setup for the street if you're not running crazy amounts of power. Here's the deal with any transmission. I want to go ahead and remind you guys of, don't put too heavy of a clutch behind something like this. This is a good transmission, but what you don't want to do is put like a ceramic puck clutch or something like that behind your T5 and go dumping the clutch. You're gonna break it. So keep the clutch soft, and these Z-Spec T5s will last. Down here, we've got a new Pro 50 shifter, the Power Tower. You guys remember these? One of my favorite shifters ever. I like them, they're notchy, they're just well built. Oh, and we got a brand spanking new one with some bolts down here as well. We skipped the box. Over here is the handle that goes to the shifter. Love it. Now this is where Andrew really hooked me up, and he made sure that we got everything that we need. So when you're building a car like this and you don't have anything to work off of, you're going to be missing all your nuts, all your bolts, everything, right? Well, he took care of us, and we've got all the nuts, the bolts, the everything. We got a new pilot bearing right here. They even sell the clutch replacement clip. So if you guys are looking for one of these, they have a brand new set of ARP flywheel bolts. So these are transmission bolts with your little pivot stud that goes right here in your bell housing. So they thought of all of it. They got us hooked up. Pilot bearing right here, bell housing bolts, and even clutch bolts with the little pins that you got to have as well. And there's one more thing that I want to show you, because I didn't show you guys everything when we left Edgar's house. Now, he's a friend of mine. He wanted to do this for us. I'm going to blow through this real quick light because we'll show you as we start to install this, but there's a lot of stuff here. You guys know what this is. This is a girdle for the rear end here. Nice cover, all right? Wiznat Mustangs, I got this from him, which is your stock thermostat housing, 90 degree. Got to have that. Since this is going to be a race car, we got some harnesses here. Edgar had hooked us up with that. 2 harnesses, as a matter of fact. A bottle warmer. Why is that? Because we are going to go nitrous on this car. It's going to be a nitrous car. So instead of using a crush washer, we are actually going to use this now. And I know some of y'all are like, finally. So this is for your pinion, and this is how you set your depth. A line lock. Somebody mentioned a line lock before. Yep, we got one. Edgar hooked us up with that as well. This was the big thing that we needed, and he came through. He had it. This is going to be for our 5-speed swap right here. Got to have that. And what we're going to do is just put this inside of the factory bracket. From what I understand, it will work. I have never done it before, but I hear it will work. Harmonic balancer. This is a nice one. This is a professional product. This is older. This thing is awesome, though. So we're going to use it on the car as well. In here, I'm not going to open it up, is a set of 410 gears, y'all. Ford Motorsport 410 gears in here, courtesy of Edgar. Right here, some nice fans with an aluminum shroud, electric fans. Underneath here is an SSP radiator. Came out of his son Cheo's car, right here. Super nice. Look how clean that is, y'all. Only thing we got to do is put a diode in right there, right in between there. And also, from what I understand, that's what allows your alternator to charge. So he had to use it for another car. Nice cluster there. 31 spline Mosier axles with long studs. Torque box reinforcements. Come on, guys. Shocks, K&N air filter, because we will be going carburetor. This laying around as well. I mean, I gotta show you guys all this stuff. It's honestly kind of been overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've got so much stuff around this shop that has got to be done. We've been trying to knock out the stuff that's not quite so fun to do, right? We want to stab this transmission in. We want to put a starter on it and get it running. But we've also got a lot of stuff that needs to be done besides that honestly nobody really wants to do. Here's how this car is going to be handled. We're going to get it running. We're going to get it moving around. I'm not going to say driving, but moving around, okay? We'll probably come back, put our gears in later. Upper and lower control arms, they may go in now, or we may wait till we get the car running. The point is, we've got all this stuff. Some things will have to be done ahead of time, but the things that can wait, we're going to try to wait on. That way, we can go ahead and get this thing moving. Because when a car moves under its own power, you are a lot more likely to get out here and work on it and push through. Now there's a really, really big surprise coming. You guys have no clue what it is, but it'll probably happen somewhere either later on this year or in the spring to do with this car. It's gonna be massive. So,
huge surprise.
Huge surprise. Right now, what we're gonna do though is enjoy this car, take it to the track, run some 9.0s, 920s in the 8th, beat some gears, and have fun with it. That's the whole goal of this thing. I'm so excited to be able to do it, and then we'll see about getting faster later on. Y'all, I really don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm overwhelmed at everyone's kindness, willingness to help. It's been amazing. Look at all of these parts. They're everywhere. We got parts for this car stashed away over here, down here in boxes. I promise you, I'm not gonna bore you to death with a bunch of these videos from now on. We've got most of the parts here, right? You're gonna see some parts come in and we're gonna have to talk about them and we're gonna give shout outs and stuff, and I hope you guys understand and I hope you stick around and you listen to it, okay? Because it means something to me and it means something to the people that sent it. It's time to get to work, and I don't have a whole lot of time to get a lot of work done, so we're gonna have to hustle. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead, wrap this video up, and as always, thanks for watching.